I'm told that they would only be interested in LeBron in a buyout situation.
Because there is a deal.
It's official. LeBron James is packing his bags and taking his talents to the Dallas Mavericks. And let's be real, this shouldn't shock anybody. Dallas has been dropping breadcrumbs for months, teasing the possibility, and now those quiet buyout whispers have exploded into a full-blown reality. But here's where it gets juicy. This isn't just about basketball, it's about family. Because while LeBron heads to Texas, his son Bronny James is still sitting on that Lakers roster in LA. Imagine that. Father and son playing in 2 different cities, 2 different uniforms, on 2 different missions. That's not just strategy, that's straight up a Hollywood-style saga playing out in the NBA spotlight. Some insiders even claim Bronny's name was being tossed around in trade talks.
The Lakers.
Yeah, right.
So he's going to go get a trade away from his son?
Well, wouldn't you just put Bronny in the trade? Yeah, why not include Bronny in the trade?
It's going to be such an easy trade to figure out LeBron at 52.6, and let's throw in an extra contract.
Which just proves this move cuts deeper than business. This is personal. And let's not forget, LeBron's shine dim this past season. The Lakers bounced out of the playoffs in the very first round. No titles, no MVPs, no big wins. That wasn't just an L, that was a slap in the face reminder that even the king can't drag a busted squad to glory by himself.
LeBron, not every day you get to pick your own teammates. And what's the relationship like between you guys?
It's the first time for us being teammates, so...
But you know what really makes this story wild? The money. LeBron's deal sits at a massive $52.6 million. Any team trying to scoop him up has to perform some serious financial gymnastics, cutting contracts, shuffling depth pieces, flipping role players, and praying the salary cap doesn't collapse in the process. This isn't checkers, this is NBA chess at the highest level. And here's the craziest part, even at 40 years old, LeBron is still putting up numbers that young guns dream of. We're talking 24.4 points, nearly 9 assists, and 8 rebounds per game across 70 matchups, 22 seasons in, and he's still looking like a cheat code against Father Time. But despite all that greatness, the Lakers still crumbled, losing to the Timberwolves in April 2025. That heartbreak is exactly why the king is on the hunt for a new throne. LA just can't keep up right now, and that's why Dallas looks like the promised land. They've got youth championship DNA and a roster that actually fits together. Now picture this, LeBron's basketball IQ meshing with Luka Doncic's straight-up firepower. That's not just a team, that's a storm brewing in the West, and it could dominate for years to come. But you already know, whenever LeBron makes a move, the heat follows. This Dallas talk has already exploded online. Fans are dissecting every trade rumor, every insider leak, every so-called secret source like it's life or death. Twitter, IG, TikTok, everybody's throwing out wild trade scenarios. Names like Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and Daniel Gafford keep popping up in these impossible deals, and social media is eating it up like popcorn. But let's keep it real. Dallas ain't the only option circling around. Cleveland, that emotional homecoming, still tugs on LeBron's legacy, no question. But the Cavs are drowning, sitting $23 million over the second apron. To bring Bron back, they'd basically have to torch the whole roster. We're talking guys like Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, even Donovan Mitchell on the chopping block. That's not just sacrifice, that's self-destruction. And then there's Golden State. Imagine Bron teaming up with Steph Curry and Draymond Green after years of being rivals. That's a Hollywood plot twist right there. The Warriors could technically dangle pieces like Jimmy Butler or Buddy Hield, but with luxury tax bills stacking higher than skyscrapers, the math gets nasty real quick. At the end of the day, this saga ain't even about what team can afford him. It's about where LeBron wants to write the final chapter of his career. Dallas might just be the stage he's been dreaming about. Of course, not everybody's buying the hype. ESPN's own Tim McMahon straight up blasted the idea of LeBron to Dallas, calling it senseless. He says the Mavs would have to gut their whole rotation, losing 3 or 4 key players just to gamble on what he dismissed as a ring-chasing retirement tour. That's cold, and it hit a nerve because it exposed the real elephant in the room. Does Dallas really want to blow up their depth for a 40-year-old, even if he's the king? And here's the twist that makes it even spicier. Reports say Dallas only wants LeBron if it's through a buyout, not a trade. Translation, the Lakers would have to cut him loose for free, eat that $52 million contract, and get nothing back for a player who's still a walking highlight reel. Sounds insane, right? Almost impossible? But don't get it twisted, and the drama ain't stopping. Social media is running wild, pumping out fake trades and unverified LeBron requests. People are linking him to the 76ers, Timberwolves, even random wildcard teams with no proof at all. Yet one viral tweet still managed to rack up nearly 300,000 views just off pure speculation. That's how much this saga has the league and the internet on fire. If you needed proof that in today's digital world, gossip moves faster than facts, just look at how this LeBron saga keeps mutating. And of course, here come the New York Knicks, always lurking whenever a superstar rumor drops. Their name stays in the mix with whispers of wild packages involving Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. But let's be honest, Towns alone is owed $110 million over the next 2 years. Stack that with New York's other extensions, and suddenly their books look like a salary cap nightmare straight out of a horror movie. But let's stop crunching numbers for a second, because the real buzz, the part making this story electric, is the possibility of LeBron linking up with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving in Dallas. Forget fantasy trades. This is about history, chemistry, and unfinished business.
People want to see that man fail every minute of the day. Me learning from him helped accelerate my understanding of the game that we're, business that we're, because I was watching him deal with it in front of the camera, off the camera, being LeBron James. That comes with its own responsibility. Not only was he teaching me off the court, but on the court.
LeBron and Kyrie's relationship is legendary. Mentor and student, brothers and rivals, all rolled into one. Together, they pulled off the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history when Cleveland stormed back from 3-1 against Golden State. But apart, they've clashed, thrown shade, and even admitted to misunderstandings over the years. Still, through all the chaos, Kyrie has never stopped praising LeBron's leadership and basketball IQ. That's respect you can't fake. Now imagine bringing that history back to life, only this time paired with Anthony Davis, the co-star who helped LeBron deliver the Lakers a title in the bubble season. A reunion of those three under one roof in Dallas wouldn't just be basketball, no, it would be a storyline bigger than the game itself. That's not just a super team, that's a headline factory that would own the NBA conversation every single night. And here's the thing about LeBron. His leadership isn't loud or flashy, it's surgical. He knows how to manage egos, control the energy, and keep the locker room glued to one goal: winning. That's exactly the type of energy Dallas would need if they're gonna stack multiple superstars on the same roster. We saw it back in Cleveland from 2015 to 2016. Bron and Kyrie's chemistry wasn't just about skill, it was built on trust, mutual respect, and an obsession with victory. If that kind of energy resurfaces in Dallas with AD in the mix, that's not just a team, that's a dynasty waiting to be born. Kyrie himself once admitted, "LeBron helped accelerate my understanding of the game," a confession that proves just how deep their mentorship ran and how dangerous they became together. That kind of bond could be priceless if they reunite in Dallas. LeBron has also been brutally honest about the grind of playoff basketball, the endless pressure, the mental and physical exhaustion, the weight that only the strongest teammates can survive. That's why trust matters so much. Knowing your partner will be there in the right spot, ready to lift you when the moment feels unbearable. The 2016 finals proved everything. LeBron and Kyrie carried Cleveland to its first championship in history, pulling off what many still call the most improbable comeback in sports. That win wasn't just about rings, it was about redemption, belief, and rewriting destiny when the world counted them out. But Dallas, they've got another ace up their sleeve, Anthony Davis. His shocking trade to the Mavericks in February 2025 flipped the entire NBA upside down. Luka Doncic was shipped to the Lakers, and analysts immediately called it one of the most unexpected trades in American sports history. That move cracked the door wide open for LeBron to follow. Now picture it, LeBron, Kyrie, and AD together in Dallas. That's not just a lineup, that's a three-headed monster built to shake the league to its core. LeBron once described the pressure of being the head of the snake, carrying every headline, every attack, every ounce of expectation. That same pressure is something both Kyrie and AD know too well. And this time, reuniting wouldn't mean carrying it alone, it would mean sharing the weight together, and Bron's bond with AD was already battle-tested in LA. Their 2020 championship wasn't just another banner, it was one of the most emotional victories in Lakers history. That partnership thrived because AD brought something almost unreal: unstoppable size, freakish athleticism, and silky smooth skill all in one package. He protected the rim, stretched the floor, and bullied mismatches, giving LeBron the perfect running mate. Now imagine it, LeBron, Kyrie, and AD in Dallas. Fans aren't just daydreaming, it's the trio analysts keep whispering about. On paper, it's terrifying. LeBron's vision and leadership, Kyrie's insane handles and clutch scoring, and Davis's rim protection plus versatility. Together, they dominate both ends of the floor in a way very few teams in NBA history ever could. And remember, LeBron isn't playing checkers, he's playing chess. His evolution into a pure floor general makes him the ultimate facilitator. Sure, he still scores at an elite clip, but now his real weapon is unlocking the best in his teammates. Throw any defensive scheme at him, and LeBron's basketball IQ will shred it apart, guiding Kyrie and AD through the storms of playoff basketball like only he can. But here's the cold truth. Time is running out. LeBron is staring straight at the final chapter of his career, and the window for this reunion is slamming shut. If it doesn't happen now, it may never happen at all. That urgency cranks up the drama to a whole new level. And then there's the mountain no one can ignore, the money. LeBron's $52.6 million contract for 2025 to 2026 is a financial labyrinth Dallas would have to solve. This isn't just about can they pay him, it's luxury tax penalties, cap rules, and roster sacrifices that could strip the Mavericks bare. Experts are already trashing the idea. ESPN's Tim McMahon even called it flat-out nonsense, warning both sides would regret it. And the buyout rumors, that's the real scandal. For the Lakers to buy him out, they'd have to admit their championship dreams with LeBron are over and officially cut ties with the man who defined their identity. That's not just business, that's a dagger to the heart of one of the NBA's proudest franchises. Even if Dallas actually pulls it off, critics warn the Mavs could end up top heavy. 3 stars surrounded by shaky depth in a brutal Western Conference. Could that formula really work, or would it just be another super team disaster waiting to blow up? The fear is real. Sacrificing 3 or 4 rotation players just to gamble on a so-called ring-chasing retirement tour could backfire on Dallas in the worst way. Because, let's be clear, the Western Conference in 2025 is a straight-up war zone, maybe the most stacked we've ever seen. Multiple squads are already playing at a championship level. If Dallas goes all in, they can't just collect stars like trading cards. They need to build chemistry instantly or risk total collapse. And the clock is ticking. LeBron is 40. The championship window is closing, and every choice feels like a sprint against time. That kind of pressure can either push a team to brilliance or force reckless mistakes that wreck the future. Coaching would be another landmine. Managing 3 megastars, each with their own style, ego, and history, would require a coach with nerves of steel and tactical genius. One wrong move, and the whole project could implode before it even gets off the ground. And let's not ignore the kids. Dallas has been investing heavy in young talent like Cooper Flagg, but with 3 veterans demanding the spotlight, those prospects could rot in the shadows. Balancing short-term glory with long-term growth might turn into an impossible juggling act. Then there's the biggest risk of all, injuries. LeBron is still a conditioning marvel, but he's logged more minutes than almost anyone in NBA history. At 40, the risk of injury or sudden decline isn't a what-if anymore. It's a very real possibility. Building your entire franchise strategy around him now is a gamble with massive stakes. And this isn't just a Dallas problem. This rumor is shaking the entire league. Just the thought of a LeBron, Kyrie, AD reunion has rival front offices sketching counter moves, prepping for an arms race that could flip the NBA's balance of power overnight. And the fans, they're split right down the middle. Some are hyped, calling it the ultimate Big 3 revival. Others say it's desperate, a reckless gamble that could bury Dallas if it blows up. Social media has turned into a non-stop circus where every leak, every rumor, every random insider tweet gets reposted until it feels bigger than the actual games being played. One post racks up retweets, and suddenly it's treated like gospel. The media frenzy hasn't cooled off for a second. Every cryptic IG story, every half sentence on ESPN, every whisper from so-called sources gets dissected to death. And right at the center of all the chaos stands one man, Rich Paul, LeBron's agent, and one of the most powerful figures in all of sports. He's not just stacking contracts, he's literally shaping futures. His ties with front offices, his chess-like mastery of the NBA's financial rules, and his inside knowledge of LeBron's true priorities make him the kingmaker of this whole saga. If this move really happens, best believe Rich Paul's fingerprints will be all over it. But let's be real, the toughest test wouldn't even happen on the court. It'd happen in the locker room. 3 alpha superstars, each used to being the #1 option, now under one roof. That's a daily battle of egos waiting to explode. Balancing minutes, touches, and expectations without sparking chaos would take coaching brilliance and constant damage control. One slip, and the whole experiment could collapse. And this story, it's way bigger than the NBA. LeBron LeBron's global brand, plus Kyrie's cult-like following, plus AD's star power would shake basketball culture across continents. With the league's international reach, the marketing machine would go crazy. Sponsorships, brand deals, storylines exploding worldwide. But don't forget, the clock is ticking. LeBron already admitted he's taking his career year by year, and at 40, this could be his last shot at chasing glory with a powerhouse squad. That urgency cranks the stakes sky high. Every move, every decision, every single game could be the one that defines his legacy. And the fans, they won't settle for anything less than a ring. The moment this trio touches the floor, it's championship or bust. That kind of pressure can turn men into legends or crush even the greatest under the weight. So here's the real question. Will the money, egos, and politics stop this dream from ever becoming reality? Or will LeBron, Kyrie, and AD actually rewrite NBA history one more time? One thing's guaranteed, the basketball world won't stop watching, and every twist in this saga is going to keep the internet on fire. What do you think? Could this be the biggest turning point in NBA history? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.